Welcome back to Meaningful Conversations live with Beata and my special guest today, Jake Fowler. Jake, I really hope that I did not screw up your last name. I always do it, so please correct me if I did not do it right. But it's Tuesday and it's noon, so for everyone who is regularly joining me, we are here. We are sharing the stories of other change makers to bring more meaning into your life and inspire transformation. It's what we're gonna do it today with Jake. And today's topic you already can see is mental toolbox for succeeding abroad with Jake Fowler. Jake, welcome to the show. I'm very excited to have you here.
Hey Beata, it's my absolute pleasure to be here. And we were just saying off camera, it's nice for me to actually be on the other side of this and not have to press any buttons and just relax and not have to watch the clock and everything like that. But you got the name pronunciation perfect, so don't worry about that at all.
Thank you so much. And yes, we were just talking about that. He is just relaxing and responding to our questions. So if you do have a question to Jake, do not hesitate to ask us. And everyone who is watching us, say hi, where are you from? And be with us, share. Jake, okay, now we're gonna get serious.
Time to get serious.
So I'm very excited about that conversation because you are from United Kingdom. I'm from Poland, and we both live away from home, what we called for a long time. So I know that you are very successful. Tell us about this journey how this really started for you from UK, and now you are where? Because you need to release, where is your home now?
Well, that's right. Let's fast forward to now, and I'm looking out just past the window in front of me to a beautiful sunrise this morning. It's about 6 a.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. And I was really excited when you invited me to your show. And I thought, I hope she asks about the mental toolbox, because I know this is something that you and I have both been through. The challenging, endearing, and all-round character-building journey that is moving around the world and setting up life and starting again in a new country. I am a plumber, and I have been for 15 years. And as a plumber, as a tradesman, anyone watching this, or anyone who's probably just done a little bit of work around the house or on the car, will know that you have your toolbox, your physical toolbox with you, full of tools. And there's certain things in that toolbox that you will always want to keep right at the top of the toolbox, because you know you're going to need them immediately, and you don't want to have to be rattling around the bottom of the toolbox, hitting yourself in the head with tools as they're flying out at you, just to find the hammer that you use every 5 minutes of the day. So there's certain tools you keep near the top of the toolbox. I have a certain particular place. And the way I like to switch that around, that physical vision in your mind of the toolbox, is a mental toolbox that I believe you need to do the really big challenging thing in life, which is moving countries. The physical side of it is easy. You book the ticket, you pack your stuff away, you have a leaving party, you say bye to everyone, you're gone. These things are quite easy these days, and they're quite affordable. Okay, outside of 2020, side note, usually you can do these things. You can get on a plane and fly wherever you like with ease, and at a relatively affordable cost, considering what you think about what you're actually doing. But what people don't talk about, and I'm really glad we are talking about it today, is the mental toolbox you need, and those things that you're going to need in that mental toolbox near the top of it, that you're going to have to pick it out at times of need, at times of despair, at times of when your back's against the wall. Because if you move to the other side of the world like I did on your own, without your family, without your friends, without any partner or loved ones, it's awfully challenging. It really is awfully challenging. Would you agree with me on that, Beata, that it's a challenging?
Absolutely. Especially, I think at the beginning, there's your family that is not there for you. They are on the phone, but not physically. It's very challenging. But yeah, we did it, and you are the star today. So let's go back to you and tell me, what are the three free tools that you reach out, they are on the top of your in your toolbox that you reach out for or reach out to as soon as when you landed in where we still didn't tell where you live. Did we
Melbourne,
tell?
Australia. Yeah, no, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, Australia, exactly.
Wrapped up cleverly in the view that's displayed in front of me. Yeah, Melbourne, Australia. So those three faculties are that I always reach for: mental resilience, being dependable on oneself, and really knowing deep down it relies on you to get the work done, on you to make a success of you, and it's your responsibility, and you need to take ownership for it. So mental resilience is number one. Number two is patience. Knowing that all good things are coming and good things are going to happen, not just to you, but for you. And quite frankly, you deserve it, the reasons why you deserve it, and know that they're going to come, but know that things do take time to play out. And it could be weeks, it could be months, it could be years. But when you understand the why, you can endure anyhow in waiting for those goals to come, waiting for those dreams to be achieved. Patience is the second thing you're going to need. And then, which is closely tied into both of them, but these things are all wrapped up tightly with each other because they're at the top of that toolbox, right? They're all tools that relate to each other and the ones that you want to go for nice and quickly. Right. The third thing is persistence. Persistence and patience. I don't know where these two folks live, but I can guarantee you if you did find out it'd be in the same house on a very cozy street. Patience would be living upstairs. Persistence would be living downstairs. Persistence to know that it's going to take you more than one attempt. It might take you two, it might take you three, but knowing that the learning is in the journey, and it doesn't matter how many times you attempt something, you never truly fail until you actually quit. So mental resilience, patience and persistence, they're the three things that I truly believe you really need to move countries and not just do it, but stay there and make a success of yourself, because it's an awfully difficult thing to do when you don't have your family and friends and that support network around you.
Jake, I think we touched something very important here with your toolbox that well, not only toolbox, with the tools that you presented: mental resilience, patience, and persistence. Isn't moving to different countries same like moving to different planet? Like everything is new, everything is different, and it just brings me to the times when we live now. Everything is different than we knew from before. Everything is new, and this adjustment that we have to go through. Can you tell us what was the most challenging part in adjusting to your new reality, to your new home?
That's a good question, and I mean, there's a lot of things I had to adjust to, and we all have our challenges inside that. Fortunately, you would think moving to a country like Australia, language wasn't one of those challenges. As you know, they speak the same language here. They speak English, of course, as they do in America and England and many parts across the world. However, anyone who's been to Australia or spent any time with Australians may well know that their English is quite slightly different to the Queen's English, and pronouncing everything with its full proper intent and making sure that you strap the real, vowels on the end of the words and extrapolate all your words out to make sure they're properly pronounced, much like David Attenborough would. The Aussies don't really speak like that. They've got a bit more of they're hanging out the edge of the mouth when they talk, and they do extend the end of their words, but they're going a little bit of a different way with it. So that can be a challenge when you're amongst people on the work site. I worked in construction for 15 years, and that's what I was doing when I moved here. You're constantly finding yourself all day saying, "What? Sorry, pardon." And then you come up with a word and everyone's like, what are you on about? And there's that little bit of a challenge where you go into the grocery store and there's things that you're looking for that you just can't quite find. But those are all quite small things, really, and that's quite a funny thing, and it's something you certainly get used to. And before long,
if I can just stop you here for a second, because it's what you just said. It's exactly what I felt when I visited United Kingdom. I thought excuse me, what English are you people talking in here? And I had a friend with me, and she's really good in pretending accents. So she was ordering some whatever breakfast, and the lady is like, you are not from here. I was like, oh my gosh, they know.
Yeah, you'll soon get sniffed out with the wrong accent anywhere, particularly in a place like England where I could go 10 minutes from where I grew up and struggle to understand someone with the dialect and the accents the way they are, but different way that I would struggle to understand people here. So that was one of the challenges, but one of the bigger challenges was just the fact that you've moved. For me, it was a long way physically, and you're in. Although, of course, I've got a great loving family and a great bunch of friends, and they always support me through, the highs and the lows of life, of course. But you are in a different time zone. I moved to somewhere that was in a completely different time zone. Your day is their night, your night is their day. You're never quite aligned. And therefore, whereas you might be at home and everyone's on the same time zone doing the same thing at the same time, it's at least still afternoon when it's afternoon. You can just call someone up and get the advice that you need pretty quickly. You have to get used to the fact that moving away, perhaps, everyone that you want to speak to isn't going to just be like that at the end of the phone, isn't just going to be available really quickly. And there's, of course, because living in the future, so to speak, it sounds great and fun and wonderful, but things still happen in the past. And particularly I'd find, when stressful things happen at home, or the news you're going to get isn't always good news, you're often going to get it first thing in the morning because it happened yesterday and you're waking up essentially to yesterday's news. So that's a challenging thing. And inside that, you've got to make a whole new set of friends. Your stature and position in what you used to do in your role at work really doesn't mean much at all anymore, unless you're transferring from one company to another around the world, which again, new environment, new set of culture to fit into, new set of hierarchy to kind of slot into there. So you got to really, anything that you did before, wipe the slate clean, because frankly, no one really cares. And now you're just here on your own 2 feet, to start all over again, like a brand new baby with bright eyes, just looking around thinking, how am I going to figure this out and how am I going to get it done?
Exactly. And I love what you just said, because I was reading the article the other day about how to survive abroad. And the lady said, you really have to be willing to be a kid, be a baby, and learning everything from the scratches. And let me just say hi to all of our listeners. Oh my gosh, Steven is with us. He says, absolutely, my wife moved from Ethiopia by herself to the US. It's challenging, however, resilient people always win. Absolutely. Congratulations to you too. Yes, thank you. Great discussion. We have Garlene. Hi. We have also Ian. Oh my gosh, our man. Hi, Ian. Thank you so very much for being here with us. And I have one question that you cannot see in here, and that the person is asking, what was the thing to make you decide to make that huge move from UK to Australia?
It's always a good question, isn't it? Everyone always wants to know, it's one of the first things that people will ask you when they realise that you're not from the locality. They'll go, what made you move here? It's a long way to come. And there's a little bit of a backstory to that. I first came here in 2010 with my mom to visit my sister, who lived here in a place called St Kilda, which funnily enough is still where I live now. And I came here on holiday, absolutely fell in love with the place, the people, the culture. It's a really relaxed, easygoing place, and so am I. So that really aligned with who I am and what I'm about. I went home after a 4-week holiday, said, right, I'm going to sell everything I own, which wasn't a lot, to be honest. And I said I was going to sell everything I own, but put what I didn't need in boxes, store it in my mum's house, and move away. I procrastinated on that for 5 years before I actually got it done. And then I met some other folks from Australia in another part of the world, and they said, you've got to come over and hang out with us in Melbourne. And then that took me from then about 2 or 3 months to get it done. But what really made me want to do it, short of seeking adventure, seeking exploration, wanting to really explore a new part of the world, which is something when I went traveling at a young age, once you get that bug within you, it never leaves you. You know, the immersiveness of dropping yourself into new cultures and getting used to them. I'm someone who always loves to learn by a baptism of fire and just dropping themselves in the deep end. So although I say it's challenging, I knew there'd be great rewards in that. And there certainly has been along the way. But really, if I could say it was one word, it would just be, yeah, the thirst and the hunger for exploration and adventure and new opportunities. You know, there's a lot of opportunities here in a country like Australia that's not as densely populated. There's a lot less people. You know, it's roughly the size of the US, but there's the amount of people that live here is the amount of people that live just less than in the state of California alone. In the whole country, you know, we're only 25 million people. So, yeah, that's kind of the reason I moved. And yeah, just knowing that there was something, a new life chapter was coming for me. It wasn't fulfilled in my job or my relationships back there in the UK.
I think that people like you or me, we have this hunger in the inside, hunger for exploring the world and challenge ourselves. At least it was part for me also to move across the ocean, because I had that dream and image that there is something else. World cannot be that small as Poland. There is something else. So yeah, I think we have this inner hunger. So tell us about your hunger to hustle, because it's your main mission right now. Yes. So what is it about?
The hunger for the hustle. I define hustle to be not having the circumstances you want in life, so going out there and creating them for yourself. You could say that's what I did in moving to Australia, which I suppose I really did, because I completely changed my circumstances, completely changed my environment. I changed the way that I live my life and the way that I strive and set goals and achieve them. In fact, you know, a goal without a plan is just a dream or a wish, which is a fine thing to have, but thinking that it's going to become a reality is a little bit of a guesswork when you don't have a plan. So I think that, you know, it takes a lot for you to do these things. And what does it take for you to drive them? Well, for me, the word hustle is creating them in them new circumstances in that new environment. And it's become, it was, of course, you know, we spoke at Power Voice Summit together. We were both trained by Les Brown, John Tallarico, and really, I would say, trained by our peers in that group, because they helped us get to a level of being comfortable talking in front of others and understanding what message it was, how to convey it and how to deliver it. And in that speech, whilst Mr. Brown was training me one day, when I was asked to deliver a 3-minute speech at the very start, I used the word hunger for the hustle in there, and then Mr. Brown was working his magic with me, as he does live in the Power Voice program, and he said, after listening to me recite my speech for one of the first times, he said, Jake, tell me, what's the title of your speech? And I said, that's a terrible impression, but I said, Mr. Brown, you know, I don't know the title of my speech, and I was wondering if that was something you could help me with. And he said, yes. I saw he looked down at his notes and he said, but hunger for the hustle. And I thought, yes, that's it. That is it right there. And it just, as things often do in life, when you're passionate about them, they snowball, and it grew and it grew and it grew and it swelled to become the podcast. I already had the idea I wanted to start a podcast. It was going to be called the Small Business Network, and I'm very glad it didn't end up being called that, because it's awfully stuffy and very corporate, nothing to do with what I'm really about, and not really what the podcast would have become about either. But you know, it's grown and it's flown on from there. The Hunger for the Hustle podcast is now a podcast that goes out multiple times every week on 5 or 6, 7 different platforms. And it's something I'm really enjoying, a space that I provide to interview business owners and entrepreneurs, just to come on the show and share their rises, their falls, their challenges, and pull back what's seen as a bit of a glamorous curtain on entrepreneurship. It's become a book as well, which my great friend Michael Bridgman, after coming on the podcast, posed the idea to me, I thought it was fantastic, and that was just a month ago. And now, Beata, you know, you're involved in it, and so are 33 other authors who are all going to be submitting a chapter on their stories of struggles to success. And some of them have started to flood in this week. I've really enjoyed reading through them. I've got some people that are very close to my heart involved on the project, and yeah, it's going to be fascinating to read their chapters and get that coming together. So that's how I define Hunger for the Hustle. That's what it is right now, and who knows what it will behold for it in the future. But I really do think it's just a brand that's going to grow, and it's going to help a lot of people, as well as educate and inform a lot of people on that subject of business, entrepreneurship, challenge, struggles, but ultimately success as well.
I love it. And there are, oh my gosh, there are a lot great things happening in your life, business and personal life, because I believe business and personal life, they really go together. And I want to go back a little bit to one word that you said, and I think it's somehow, I want to know. You said at some point when we were talking about the tools that you use to make your new home, how to survive and adjust, you said you need to know, and also in business, you need to know your why. Did your why change since then? What is your why now?
That is a fine question, and it's something I'm having to think about on my feet about now. My why definitely completely changed. I mean, when I moved here as a young man at 27, hey Seweryn-Reid, hey Ian, great to see so many of our friends watching.
Yeah, and Joanna is here as well. Yeah, we have a lot of friends. Thank you all.
Thanks guys for watching. It's fantastic. It takes my why change. When I was a 27, 28-year-old man, the things that were the priorities in my life and my goals, which I didn't really have any then, I was just someone who was floating through life, completely changed. You know, when I moved here, my priorities was going out partying, chasing women, and just enjoying the fast and the quick thrills of life. You know, that rapidly changed when I realized that, you know, this was such a place of opportunity, and it was really a clean slate for me to forget about any of the things that I had been through, you know, achieved or not achieved before, and set a new set of goals. You know, it's the thing about Australia is you are paid very handsomely if you work very hard, and it's a very fair country in that respect. You can, you know, really excel in a certain niche or area here and get paid very well and very handsomely for that, and not have to work lots and lots and lots of hours to earn a good enough living to live a really good life. So I realized that, and my goals changed, and my why then, as I said, I probably didn't really even know the value of having a why or why I should have one, but you know, it's quickly changed now. I'm just looking over on the wall over here. There's goals everywhere. I mean, my house, people probably think I'm a bit crazy when they first come to it, because they think, why has he got all this stuff written on all these notes stuck to all the walls, and affirmations and things I read through. And my why, one of my whys is actually stuck on the bathroom mirror in the other wall, in the other room. And it's something that Les Brown says. It's, you know, you must know your why, and when you know the why, you can endure anyhow. And write it down. Write 5 reasons down why you deserve what you deserve, and pull them out. You know, keep them in your wallet, keep them somewhere you can see every day, and pull them out, and they'll build you up. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I can't remember what they all are. They're written on the bathroom in the other room, but I do know my why now. And my why now is to create a random business that creates money for me in my sleep, because I believe that if you don't learn how to earn money in your sleep, then you will work until you're dead. I've already done that to some degree, but as I expand around the world globally, and obviously you're earning business, doing business, and therefore earning cash and revenue in different time zones, you are making money in your sleep. And I think that's a key secret to life, and it's a thing that you can do pretty, I wouldn't say pretty easily, but it's certainly very possible and within reach in the modern world, and the way that technology can help you do it. So that's one of my whys. But the finance isn't the main motivator. It used to be for me, and I've quickly realised that it can't be, because if it is, money comes and goes, and if it's your main focus, you're going to become unwavering in your faith when the money's not coming in. So it's nice. It's nice to have nice things, of course, but it's as one of my people that I follow, and I certainly followed him when I was a kid, and he used to like wrestling The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, says, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And I really pride myself on that. And a person of having honesty, integrity. One of my whys is the reason why I believe I'm actually here, and one of my callings on the planet now is to speak and use my voice to help others. The reason why I do that is because I think it's important, if you've got a message to share, no more than any time than this year in 2020, where the world needs warriors, not warriors. Warriors, not warriors. I have to make sure I pronounce them and get them the right way around. It's an important time for your voice to be heard, and quite frankly, it should be heard. If you want it to be heard, why not? That's what these platforms are online to be about. That's why content is content, right? It's out there to be put out there, and I think that there's no better time than now to deliver your message. So that's also a part of my why. But more than anything, over anything, just to live a nice, happy, healthy life with great people in it.
I love it. Just deliver happy, healthy life with great people in it. You write it down, people, because it's really powerful statement. Garlene said, world needs warriors. Absolutely, that's so true. We have Ian that had to leave. Joanna, we love you too. Thank you. You are the other word changer that we love. Thank you so much. And Jake, so I love your why. It's part of, I think, all of us who we met on Les Brown training, the speaking training. So, but I have to highlight that except you being an entrepreneur, you are a speaker, you are a podcaster, you also support people and do charity and nonprofits. Oh my gosh, where do you find time for all of that?
That's a good question. And, the reality is sometimes I don't. And I am getting used to this new crazy busy schedule of life. It's, it wasn't long ago, less than 3 months ago now, I quit my job working for someone else and trading my time for their money, and now just having all my own time to make all my own money. Sometimes I just don't find the time. Like, I'll give a real life example. I went to bed at about 2 a.m. It's now 6 a.m. And the night before wasn't much different to that. This time of year when things are busy, sometimes I'm working 17, 18, 20-hour days. That's just the only way you're going to get it done, particularly when, I don't own a big company with lots of money behind it, certainly no investment behind it. And I don't have a big team of staff to help me. A lot of the things I just get done myself, and I take pride in doing them, and I enjoy doing them. And it's funny actually, because that's how the whole basis of, and it's really the question I asked Mr. Brown when I first had any interaction with him. I said, how do you balance all the things out in a busy life? And he said, well, you don't, you schedule and you integrate them, and then later down the line, Mr. Tallarico, our mentor, told us that you can't manage the time. You've got 24 hours, right? You can't slow down that clock. You can't speed it up. You have to manage the activities inside the time. And I'm just going to be completely honest and put it out here. I'm still figuring and mapping this out completely. I'm not great at scheduling. I'm not fantastic at prioritizing things. And I've actually taken on another mentor recently who's in my time zone and lives just down the road from me. My mate Rich Sayer, and he's worked in the event space for many years and knows and believes in the art of spending time and investing in oneself. And he's going to be teaching me some tricks on how to schedule my life better and how to manage time better, because you have got to try and find a healthy balance in life. It's not all about work, and it's not all about play, and it's easy to get that balance a little bit off, I believe, now and again.
I love it. Thank you so much. And it's so true. And well, I think the point is that we are all students. So we learn our entire life to manage us, not really the time and our dreams and our goals. So thank you for that. I have one more quick question, and I have, again, a lot of people saying, hi, thank you. Thanks for your transparency. We are all work in progress. Absolutely, Seweryn-Reid. And my sister from Poland is here. Hi, sister, love you. Thank you for being here. And okay, so my question is because again, I truly believe that the times of crisis that we are living in right now, they are not much different from moving abroad. Like seriously, people, you have to learn everything and adjust. And the main thing that you have to adjust is your mindset. It's how Jake started. Your mindset, the mental toolbox is very important. So if you can pull the most important tool right now from your toolbox that would help people today embrace change that we are all going through, what would it be?
The one that comes to my mind is determination. And I know that isn't one that I included in the original toolbox, but I think it's something that people need this year. You need to be determined in your goals. It's been a tough year for us all. I'm not taking that away from the situation at all. It's been a tough year. And, you know, my love and blessings goes out to anyone who's watching this now live or later at any point that has lost someone this year, you know, whether that be a friend or a family member. Honestly, my thoughts and love really does go out to you. But I do think it's been, on the other side of that coin, a great year for growth, a great year for going within and going to study those things that you had backed up for a while, ticking off that list of to-do lists that you had to do for a while, and a great time to actually go quiet, go within, and everyone's been spending a bit of time away from people. Inherently, you've figured out that some of those people actually probably weren't any good for you to start with, and frankly, why did you hang around with them so much? You know, that's a great thing that's going to come out this year. And you know, being determined, as I was in moving to another country and side of the world to make a success of myself, being determined this year and knowing that the challenges are brand new, they're different, but we have to remain determined to get through the year, because 2021 is not far away. It's a brand new year and it will present a brand new set of challenges, and you probably want to start getting ready for them now, because they're going to come and they'll come thick and fast, and you need to be determined, as you do in life, about everything to get through them, to win and to succeed.
Absolutely. And if you listen to your podcast, so I remember that you said you are successful and you speak to successful people. You surround yourself with successful people. Times of crisis, time of change, this huge change that we are going through, is the best time to invest in yourself and to take a risk and invest in maybe become entrepreneur, become independent. What is your thought on that quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's very important to invest on yourself and spend time on yourself. You know, you should spend about 10% of what you earn every year on personal development. It's a road that once you get on it, it never ends. It's a vehicle that you're going to need an awful lot of fuel to ride that road out. And that fuel will come in the form of energy from within yourself and from people that you love, I'm sure. But I'll tell you what's going to come out of this year, in my opinion, a lot of small businesses. Think how many people have, and I'm sure a lot of you watching may be able to align with me here, how many of you have realized that this time away from your place of work and the environment you work in has made you realize that it's not the job you don't like, it's not what you do that you don't like, and in fact you're very good at it, but you just don't like the place you do it with, all the people that you're surrounded by whilst you're doing it. And what's going to come out of that? People are going to realize, hey, look, I love working in law, but I don't like doing it for someone else. I could do it for myself. Hey, look, I love baking, but I don't enjoy doing it at that place I do it at. I could just do it from home and sell my own cakes. You know, the list goes on. I think there's going to be a lot of small businesses coming out of this time. I think it's a fantastic time for it to happen. I think people are going to be moving away from relying on the import and export of other countries and their goods, and wanting to revive patrioticness. I hope that's a word. And you know, supporting their own country and their own industry and their own jobs.
Amen. That is so true. Thank you so much. And tell us, what is the best way to reach out to you, to learn more about you and maybe start to work with you?
Sure, yeah. Well, I like to document a lot of the stuff I do. Sometimes I do it at scale. Sometimes I do it not so often. It just depends how busy I am. But I like to document my journey and my life as an entrepreneur across my social channels, which is at JKHero7. And it's the same across Instagram and Facebook to make it easy. I'm also on other platforms, but really they're the two that I spend any time putting content up. There's also the Hunger for the Hustle, at the Hunger for the Hustle, and hungerforthehustle.com. If you've enjoyed my words today, if you think I could speak at your event, be that a big, small event, I'm not bothered. I'm just getting new to this. I'd love the opportunity to speak. And thank you on that note, Beata, and to that point for this opportunity today. I'm really grateful. And I've really enjoyed spending some time with you.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And I hope you will be here soon again. Before we go, I want to say thank you, first of all, to you, Jake. And I don't know if you celebrate Thanksgiving in Australia, but we will soon in United States. So I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And remember Jake's words. He said, live happy, live healthy, and surround yourself with great people. And it's what I wish you for Thanksgiving this year. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Jake, again. And we love you, people. And Joanna, she's still sending us love. And Jesus just joined. Thank you so much. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Meaningful Conversations live with Beata every Tuesday at noon. I bring as wonderful people as Jake today because we want to change the world with one message at a time. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thanks, Beata. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you.